Hey, what's up YouTube? Brownie here, coming to you with another video. This one's going to be about star spawns. I'm just going to show you which star spawns I have leveled up right now, and then I'm going to play some COland 30 forest attempts for you guys, so you're not bored listening to me blab about star spawns and what's important about them and all that stuff. So sit back and enjoy some COland, and I'll talk about star spawns. Alright, so star spawns are an interesting part of the game. They offer certain stats that you can only get in a few places. They also offer very common stat buffs, so I try to level my star spawns with this in mind. I'm going to approach this topic with the assumption that you guys have quite a few star spawns maxed, and you're thinking about maybe resetting some of them to level up maybe some of the new ones. Star spawns that are kind of like a must-have in my opinion are the MAME stat, pet one, the dodge offset stat, the all damage dealt one, the damage reduction / HP one, and the all damage dealt precision one. Also, that new armor block one is pretty nice. It actually gives a lot of damage mitigation. But out of the ones I just said, there's two star spawn that stand out to me. These could be the most important star spawn in the game, and they're the MAME and dodge offset ones. Especially the dodge offset one. that doesn't necessarily mean like you need to level these to max though. Like dodge offset is a huge stat, but in campaign, for example, you'll be able to get through SFX and carries dodge with like 6%, or even less. You don't have to level it up a huge amount, but you do want to have it, at least some of it, so you can split resources knowing that. But in the future, I think it's going to be a lot more important, because once DH releases a new campaign and we're against heroes like Elena in campaign, I don't even want to think about that nightmare. Anyway, these two star spawn have one thing in common. It's the only place in the game where you can get the stats. So MAME and dodge offset. It's the only place. It's those two star spawns. So that gives them a much higher value, in my opinion. Next most important is the original all damage dealt one. I like that one. And then the damage reduction star spawn, I kind of value these two like around the same level, because damage reduction is a huge stat in this game. And they're both limited in where you can get them. So we recently got new star spawn update, adding the hybrid star spawns, and a lot of you probably have a good amount of the old ones leveled to full, and you're wondering if you should maybe regress some of the old ones in favor of leveling a new one or a couple new ones. And I think there's only 3 of the new star spawn that possibly are a better path forward than the old ones. The Spirit of Piety, Spirit of Crystal, and Spirit of Bravery. So that's damage reduce and HP, all damage dealt and precision, and then armor and block. These 3 star spawns of the new ones give you some of the most important stats in the game. Like damage reduction isn't something you can just roll on a stone. Also, armor is a stat that you can only get from a few places in the game, and it's not an insignificant amount. I can speak well. Yeah, it's not an insignificant amount of armor that the star spawn gives. The other one, the Spirit of Crystal, gives a really important stat, and that's precision. Precision's is a unique stat in that for every 1%, the attack will deal an additional 0.3% extra damage, capping at 45%, and it only applies to attackers' attack-based damage. And it also allows your opponent it also allows you to lower your opponent's block chance. So, for example, the Spirit of Fervor star spawn gives % attack. Now, I know that sounds great because who doesn't want more attack, but it's not that simple. Like some people have heroes with attack in like 20 million range, but it will take something more common. Like my Vulcan has 10 million attack, but like 7.5 million of that comes from the CI buffs. The rest is what you would just, it would be from the non-homeowner part, like 2.5 million. Hardly anything in comparison to the homeowner buff. So the thing is, the Spirit of Fervor attack bonus only applies to that 2.5 million attack that he has when he's like pre-homeowner. Even though he is a homeowner, it won't buff that CI attack bonus. So knowing this, I reset the Spirit of Fervor, and I only lost 200k attack. Hardly anything. I was then able to put those resources into the Precision Pet because that was going to be a much bigger damage bonus that affects all my attack-based damage. So it's increasing the full 10 million. Now, you won't see it on the stat sheet because it does it in-game when you're doing skills and attacks. But and then also that Star Spawn gives all damage dealt, which is amazing. And on the opposite end on the stat table is block, damage reduction, armor, and other defensive stats. In my opinion, if you're trying to focus on campaign and other PvE content right now, like higher perfect smash in RG, or maybe beating Dominator, even PvP, honestly, the defensive stats, the defensive star spawns are some you should probably consider. I had quite a few defense star spawns upgraded when I beat campaign. The ones I choose to level up were the damage reduce HP one, the armor block, and the block one. I left out crit damage reduce because my team has Vesa and Aspen. Vesa can't be crit, and her flowers protect 2 allies when her skills are sublimed. Also, feared heroes can't crit, so crit damage reduce isn't something that my team needed as much as something else defensive. Now, after I had those leveled up to resource efficient level, so the most I could get for the least resources used, I then switched to offensive star spawns because I had to sacrifice some offensive stats for defensive ones. So as I said before, I reset the attack star spawn. And with that, I also reset the HP star spawn because that's the same deal as the attack one. It only does the pre-CI buffed HP. So I had 2 new offensive star spawn that I could level in place. So I chose this order for offensive star spawns. Maim, all damage, like the old all damage one. Skill damage because I used Vulcan. Holy damage. Little bit of dodge offset. All damage precision. And 1 level in the new star spawn that gives CC offset because the first level gives more CC offset than the original CC offset star spawn. It's like, at least mine, I have different assessments, so yours might vary differently, but the new one gives 4.1% for the first upgrade level versus the old one that gives only 2.1%. So yeah, it's basically double for doing the new one. And I just did 1 level just to help Aspen out a little bit with his fears. And as you can see with the new ones, a lot of them I didn't level to full because they take a lot of Stardust and double the amount of cores, and those resources in other star spawns yields more percentage stats. So yeah. With all that in mind, this was my build order. Or not so much an order, more like I wanted all these stats, so which should be maxed, which could be partly leveled, and especially now with Treasure Train released, if you get those tickets, from what I hear, it's pretty big buffs and will be huge for campaign. I'm not sure though, because I beat campaign like the night before it released, so something like that. But anyway, I hope you guys were able to take away some information from this, and hopefully it helped. If you guys liked it, I'd appreciate a subscribe. That would be really cool. I want to try to get to 1K subs someday. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good one.